In this video, we are going to learn how you can validate Salesforce leads with ZeroBounce. So the idea here is that whenever a new lead is created in your Salesforce CRM software application, first of all, the email address of the lead should be validated using your ZeroBounce software application account. And if the email address is a valid email address, then only the lead description should get updated in your Salesforce account. For that, you need to integrate Salesforce account with ZeroBounce and again with Salesforce. So how you can set up this automation and how you can integrate all these software applications using Pabbly Connect, for that you need to come to my screen. To validate Salesforce leads with ZeroBounce, first we need to log into Pabbly, Pabbly.com. This is the website of Pabbly. Now here we can find two options, sign in, sign up free. If you are a new user, you have to simply click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes. And you're going to get free tasks every month. If you're already a user of Pabbly Connect, simply sign in. From the All Apps section, access Pabbly Connect. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, click on this plus sign, create workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as validate Salesforce leads with ZeroBounce. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want that whenever a new lead is created in your Salesforce application, automatically the lead email address should be validated using ZeroBounce account. And if the lead email address is a valid email address, then the description of the lead should be updated. And for that, first we need to integrate Salesforce with Pabbly Connect. So open this trigger window and here choose the application name as Salesforce. Select the trigger event as new lead. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Salesforce. That is asking for the access. So let's scroll down and click on allow to give away the permissions over here. Authorization successful and now the Salesforce account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the instance URL. And here the instruction is also mentioned. Get your instance from the setup, left sidebar, company profile, company information, then search for instance. It look like AP16, AP12, etc. If your instance is AP16, then URL is this. I'll just take you to my Salesforce account. And here we are going to just click on setup. On the left hand side, we can find company profile. Simply click on it. And here we have to click on company information. And here we can find various organization details. So here we can find the instance as AP16 in my case. So I'll be giving the same URL over here, which is mentioned over here in the description. Okay. So here you can see that my instance is AP16. So I have pasted the same URL over here. So you have to paste your instance URL over here. And now before clicking on save and send test request, first I'm going to create a new lead in my Salesforce CRM software application. And for that I have created a form, that is the lead form. And here I'm just going to click on sign up. And here let us enter the details of the customer. Let's give the customer name as demo, last name as customer itself. Let's add the email address. Let's enter the phone number and company name as Pabbly. Okay, so we have entered all the details and now let's click on submit. Okay, so we are redirected to Pabbly account. It means the form has been filled. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect and now we are going to click on save and send test request. And here we can see the responses received and all the details of the recently created lead are captured over here. Okay, here we can find the phone number of the lead. We can find the name of the customer as demo customer. Okay, we can find the last name as customer. Here we have got the first name and here we have got the email address. Now here I want to give you an important information that here you can see that the data has captured immediately. But sometimes it may take some time in capturing the response as the trigger here is polling based. So if your data doesn't get captured immediately, don't worry about that and please wait for 15-20 minutes patiently. The data will surely arrive. And here also it is mentioned that this particular trigger will check for the new data in every 10 minutes. Okay. So now we want to validate the email address of the lead using our ZeroBounce account. So let's integrate ZeroBounce with Pabbly Connect. Come to this action window and here choose the application name as ZeroBounce. Select the action event as validate email. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and now it is asking for the API key. Log into your ZeroBounce account. You can find your API key from API keys and info, your API keys. So I'll directly click on this hyperlink, and here we can find the API key. So I'm just going to copy this API key and I'll be pasting the same over here. And now let's click on save to create a connection. And now the ZeroBounce account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the email address that needs to be validated. So here we'll be mapping the email address of the customer that we have got from our trigger response over here. Okay, so let's scroll down, and for mapping, simply click it over here, come to the trigger response, and from the drop down, let's find the email address. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. And here we can see the response is received, and in the response we have got the status as valid. It means the email address is a valid email address. So now we want that if the email address of the customer is valid, then this workflow should run further, and then only the description of the contact should get updated. And for that we are going to apply a filter. So simply scroll down, come to this plus sign, add an action step, and here choose the application name as filter. Select the label over here, come to the ZeroBounce response, and from the drop down let us find status. Filter type will be equal to, and the value would be valid. So if the label, that is the status, is equal to valid, then only the workflow should run further. So basically filter is a if condition. If this particular condition satisfies, then only the workflow should run further. So let's check the condition by clicking on save and send test request. And here we have got the status as success message, condition is true, just because the email address is a valid email address. Okay, so now we want to update the contact information, the description of the contact or the description of the lead. And for that we need to integrate Salesforce with Pabbly Connect once again. Click on this plus sign to add an action step. And here choose the application name as Salesforce once again. And this time we have to select the action event as update lead. Click on connect. Click on select existing connection just because we have recently created a connection. Click on save. And now the Salesforce account is connected to Pabbly Connect. Now here it is asking for the lead ID. So we have already got the lead ID in our trigger response when we have created a new lead in our Salesforce account. Okay, I'll just show you the lead ID. So this was the ID. Okay, so this was the lead ID. So now we will be mapping this lead ID. Okay, and for mapping, simply scroll down. Simply click on this mapping button, just enable it and just remove this data, and from the drop down come to Salesforce trigger response, and here we are going to find the ID. Okay, this was the lead ID. Now here we need to map the last name, first name and other details of the customer. So let us find it from the trigger response. So let us map the customer last name. In the same way, here we'll be mapping the first name, that was demo itself. Here we'll be mapping the company name, that was Pabbly. Here we have to map the phone number. And here we will be mapping the email address. And here we need to give the description. So in the description, I want to mention that this particular email address is a valid email address. So here I'll be giving email address is valid. Okay, so this will be the description. I want to update the lead details. So in the description, this particular data will be updated. Okay, now here if you want to specify some lead source, you can just change the details. If you want to change the status of the contact or the customer, you can just change it over here. I don't want to change all these details, so I'm just leaving the fields. Okay, and now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we have got the response. It means the customer details are updated. Let's check it. So this was my customer data, demo customer. And when we scroll down, we can find all the customer details over here. And here we can see the description as email address is valid. So in this way, we can see that the description is updated over here correctly. And our integration is working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay, now we have set up an automation. This is a one-time process. Next time, whenever a new lead will be created in your Salesforce application, first of all, the email address of the lead will be validated. And if the email address is a valid email address, then the description of the lead will be updated accordingly. So I'll not be able to show you this in the real time just because I have already informed you that the trigger here is polling based and it will take time to capture the response. Okay, so now I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. Okay, I'll just minimize this trigger application also. Okay, so first we have created an integration between Salesforce and Pabbly Connect so that whenever a new lead is created, automatically the lead details are captured in Pabbly Connect. And then we have added the action step of ZeroBounce just to check whether the email address submitted by the customer is a valid email address or not. Then we have applied a condition over here that the workflow should run further only if the email address is a valid email address. And at last, we have updated the lead description details in the Salesforce account. And in this way, we have learned that how we can validate Salesforce leads with ZeroBounce using Pabbly Connect. Thank you.
So not just these software applications, you can integrate a ton of applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. In case you have any queries, you can just post your queries at Pabbly Forum. Our team will surely get back to you. This is our Pabbly Connect website, and to know the latest updates and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is pabbly.connect. Also, the link of Pabbly Connect and this workflow is attached in the description box. You can clone this workflow into your account directly. If you really like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.